oh, my interpretation of what happened in Missouri is wrong. Claiborne Jackson wasn't a Confederate. He was forced to side with the Confederates because he wanted to maintain neutrality, but the evil Federalist government was stepping in and pushing him and bullying him. But let's talk about how Claiborne Jackson is really just a whiny little bitch that didn't get his way and then started a war. In December, when Lincoln gets elected, states start to secede, and they start seizing federal property, including in states that hadn't seceded yet. As a result, Buchanan, not Lincoln, Buchanan sends Lyons and 2 companies of soldiers to St. Louis to protect the federal arsenal. They arrive on February 6th. As tensions continue to boil over, Claiborne Jackson, now that Lincoln's in office in March, orders a state convention to convene and vote on secession because he's afraid Lincoln is going to take away them slaves of his. The state convention votes no, unanimously almost. Only one person votes to secede. Everybody else says, no, we're going to stay with the Union. That pisses off Claiborne Jackson, who orders the Missouri State Guard to seize the federal arsenal at Liberty, and then they form a camp outside of St. Louis to then take over the federal arsenal in St. Louis. As a response to seeing this camp form, Lyons sends all the guns and ammunitions north up into Chicago. Claiborne, meanwhile, is talking with the Confederates and asking for cannons, guns, and munition to be sent to his camp so that they can overthrow the state arsenal. And guess what? Lyons finds out about this, dresses up in drag, goes into that Camp Jackson where he finds crates of guns, ammunition, all marked marbles that came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's weird. A fucking Confederate state. He's now joining with the Confederacy to start a conflict. As a result, Lyons orders that camp dispersed. They surround it, capture them all. There's a little bit of a massacre which happens, which was bad. And then in the results, there's a Harney and Price negotiations where there's a tentative agreement that the Union controls St. Louis. The State Guard can control the rest of the state so long as they don't allow the Confederates to come in. Problem with that is Claiborne Jackson is already negotiating with the Confederates to have an army sent up into Missouri to take the state over by force. That's weird. This whole truce falls apart. Lincoln appoints Lyons in and gets rid of Harney. Lyons meets with Jackson and Price to try to negotiate this. Their stance is Union has to get the fuck out, and that's the only thing there to it. So Lyons goes, all right, you guys have a week to get out of Union lines or I'm going to attack you. There's a battle in Boonville where Jackson is present. The state militia gets its ass handed to him by the Union, and Jackson then flees. The state duly elected convention holds another meeting where they vote that Jackson is a traitor and they kick him out of the government, and they vote that his government is now null and void. This pisses off Jackson even more, who then declares war basically on the Union, says that there's an unholy crusade, and in October has a quorum of ex-representatives that are no longer actual duly elected representatives, so the government's been folded, and they hold their own secession vote where they immediately join the Confederacy and have a government in absentia. So, yeah, they were Confederates. The secessionists and the rebels and all the state militia were fucking Confederates fighting against the Union because they wanted to own slaves. It's as simple as that.